All right, welcome everyone to today's talk on scene operations, and today's subject is the first due unit and their roles and responsibilities. And the first thing to understand with this is probably the most important, and that is that as the first due unit, no matter who or what you are, if you are the first to arrive at scene, then you are by default the incident commander until someone else arrives and takes that responsibility over for you. And as the incident commander, you have a couple things that you must gather and communicate to the rest of the incoming units. And these are summed up in what we call a CAN report. CAN, and this stands for conditions, actions, and needs. Your report on conditions is just saying what you see. It's just giving an update on what the situation is so that everybody has an idea what they're responding to. Use appropriate amount of detail, but don't overcomplicate it. Key points that we're going to want to identify are going to include the number of patients, the seriousness of injuries with the patients involved, any special circumstances like a need for some kind of special rescue or hazmat, any entrapment that's going to require extrication, or any active flames that's going to require extinguishment. Actions means whatever it is you are about to do. Simple as that. So if all the stuff that you just identified needs to get done in the conditions part of your report, this is where you're saying, hey, if all that stuff, here's the action we are taking. This could be, hey, Medic 301 is taking primary on the patients in the blue car, or Engine 2111 is taking fire attack, etc. The needs section of your CAN report is for identifying to dispatch and all incoming units all the resources that you are going to need in order to accomplish all the tasks that you identified in your conditions report, right? So think of it kind of like conditions minus the action that you're taking, right? Whatever the balance of that is, all the remaining tasks, whatever you need to accomplish, all of that, you need to identify so that people can start those resources coming. And this may mean ordering up additional resources that were not in the initial dispatch. So extrication crews, hazmat or the SMRT team out of Shasta County, additional ambulances, additional aircraft, power company. I mean, just again, use your imagination. Anything that could be needed, this is the time to call for them. Okay, so we're going to roll this video and I'll give a sample CAN report using this scene here. Obviously the crews are already on scene, but we'll pretend that we just rolled up and we were the first arriving unit. And I'll pretend that I'm just Medic 301. So I would say probably something like Trinity 301 is at scene, confirming that we have a 2-vehicle accident, 1 vehicle on its wheels, 1 vehicle on its roof. Occupants are out of the vehicle on its wheels, vehicle on its roof will need extrication. Please continue full response, including extrication crews. Start an additional ambulance and a helicopter. We will be performing a more extensive size up now. Stand by for updates. Something like that. Now, that was a little shaky, but it doesn't have to be perfect. It just needs to communicate the general idea. Now, okay, part 2 here. Once we have done our CAN report, the next thing that we want to communicate are going to be a couple more logistical things. The first one is going to be radios or communications. So we need to now identify, if we are the incident commander, what the communications are going to look like for this incident. The 3 primary radio channels that we need to identify or ask for is a command channel, a TAC channel, and an air-to-ground. Now, that's worst-case scenario. Not every incident is going to use all 3. Those are just the 3 that we want to memorize because that would be like the full DEFCON 1 setup, okay? Most incidences, we just run on a command channel, or just on, in Trinity County, we just run on FireNet, whatever repeater we're on. In the case of an expanded incident like this, where we have multiple vehicles requiring extensive rescue, we're going to probably open up a TAC channel. Look at your reference guides that we provide for areas of the county and what TACs that we typically use for the area you're in. But you need to know what those areas are and the TAC channels that correspond with them. And then you'll identify that to dispatch and to incoming units that we will be performing all of our tactical operations over that TAC channel. And then our air to ground is very easy. This is what we're communicating with the air rescue or air ambulance with. In this case, we called for a helicopter, so we'll need to prepare to have one of those channels. It's very easy. Like I said, in Trinity County, we almost 99% of the time we use CalCord as our air to ground. So open up a command channel. Again, that's usually going to be the dispatch channel in our county. Open up a TAC channel, and then if you need to, have an air to ground ready to go. So part 1, radios and communications. This is following your CAN report. And then the last thing, of course, is resource orders. So we've identified the conditions. We've said, hey, here's what we're doing. We've said, here's our needs. Here's what we're talking on. And now it's time to put people to work. The final step of this process is, all right, hey, 302, we're taking the patients in this red car here. We'll begin treating them while extrication is going on. Can you please respond to the patients in the car that's on its wheels? Something like that. Hey, Rescue 2151, we need extrication on the red car that's on its roof. Start doling out assignments and let people start trickling into place. All right? Okay, so really not that complicated. CAN, radios or communications, and start dishing out orders. That's it. All right? And it should go smooth as better. At least that's the hope. Guys, thanks for watching. In the next video, we will have some sample incidents, and we will be able to practice some CAN and scene reports together, so stay tuned.